Hi, I'm Kim, and I've been asked to comment on a Rich Woman article for insiders. And this specific article comes from MarketWatch, and it's titled, Ways Women Can Become Better Investors. The article says, quote, women now occupy 50.6% of workplace, managerial, and professional positions, yet as investors, women still don't get involved or they invest too conservatively, leaving money on the table. The research goes on to state 3 different factors that they say are responsible for this. And this comes from a study of mutual funds and bank and insurance groups. One of the things they state, of course, is education. It says women growing up simply are not socialized as investors. 76% of women wish they had learned more about investing while growing up. Totally agree. I think most of us women have not had any financial education growing up, certainly not in our schools. I only know of a few schools right now that are teaching anything about money. And I think, too, that the education, of course, is the key to the whole thing. Because without the education, there's fear. We're going into unknown. We're taking risks. We're gambling, basically, without knowing what we're doing. So, of course, with Rich Woman, with Rich Dad, it's all about financial education as that very first step. It also talks about experience. It says that most women don't take the investing helm when married. Again, I think that goes back to education, and so many women do expect the husband or the men of their family to take charge of money. Now, where this idea came from, again, I think it's just because so many of us have not had the experience, have not had the education, but they're now finding out that women investment groups are outperforming male investment groups. So there's no statistics that prove that men are better investors, and I'm not saying women are better investors. It depends on the individual, but the experience is just something that you take step at a time. That's why I always say start small, take baby steps, get the experience, because with every experience you become more knowledgeable, your confidence grows, and you become a better investor. The third thing that this article cites as why women are not investing is fear. It says some 90% of women fear losing it all, and even 40% of those with incomes exceeding $100,000 annually cite that fear. I've also heard there's this concept of, the bag lady and the fear of becoming a bag lady. And it is true from what I've heard in studies that women, no matter how much money they have, and they could be multimillionaires, and that fear is still there. But it goes back again to education, get some experience, start building your self-confidence, because I'll tell you, the women investors I know are fantastic investors. They're practical, they're logical, they're watching their cash flow, they want that return on their money, and it really is not rocket science. So in this article, it also says, through death or divorce, we are more likely to spend more time in control of our financial destiny. Through death or divorce, or simply the decision to remain single, most of us are going to wind up on our own when it comes to our money, on our own in life. So I say get educated today. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? But the more educated you are financially, the better, more successful your life will be. Let me make one other comment. This article comes from mutual funds and banks and insurance companies. So there is a fourth factor they actually cite that I'm going to disagree with, and that is that women disconnect from their advisors. The only complaint I have with this article, or articles like it, is the statistics are all the same. The advice is very similar, but at the bottom line, the difference between Rich Woman and what a lot of these other experts are saying is they're citing all these things, and then they're saying, turn your money over to me, let me manage it for you. That is totally opposite of what Rich Woman stands for. What Rich Woman stands for is being an active investor, not a passive investor. Yes, you've got to get educated. Yes, you've got to get the experience, not just listening or reading. You've got to actually get out there and do it, because that's where the real success will come from. So that's what sets Rich Woman apart from so many other financial women advisors, is what we're saying, get out there and do it yourself. Learn, take charge, take control of your money, take charge of your life.